Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sung-hee Park. Before I begin, I would like to ask you a question. During the pandemic, except for the requirements of wearing a mask or keep social distance, did you also change your consumer behaviors?
Yeah.
Maybe from this to this, or even this. So today, the subject I'm going to talk about is Taiwanese college students' change of consumer behaviors during the pandemic. And this is the outline of my presentation. I'll start from the background to the last part conclusion. So start from a background. As we know, the pandemic has led to the unprecedented crisis around the world. It radically changed people's lives in many aspects. In order to control the infection rate, the government have announced numbers of measures, such as stay-home orders, gathering restrictions, which eventually led to global financial crisis. And people start to change their shopping mode and shopping priority at the same time. College students as special consumer group, they grow up in digital environment who have strong purchasing power. Most importantly, they haven't fulfilled financial independence and still need to rely on families' financial support. As the pandemic has led to a negative impact on families' financial situation, my research purpose is to investigate Taiwanese college students' change of consumer behaviors during the pandemic. And my first research question is, what were the disparities in the change of consumer behaviors among Taiwanese college students from various social classes during the pandemic? And my second research question is, what were the change of Taiwanese college students' consumer behaviors during the pandemic? And then I'll do an overview of the literature review. So according to Angola and Blackwell in 1973, they have sorted consumer behaviors into 4 stages: information input, information processing, decision process, and the variables which influence the decision-making process. And according to Martin and Isaac in 1992, rational decision-making is the chief element what drives consumers to make purchases. And according to Kohler in 2012, consumer behavior is the outcome of interaction among cultural factors, social factors, personal factors, and psychological factors. And these are 4 indicators I used to investigate in my study. First is impact of financial status. Second is change of shopping habits. Third is online shopping behaviors, and last one is impulsive buying behaviors. And these indicators were based on the literature reviews on the slide. So let's move to the methodology. So my research design is quantitative survey study, and it was designed by online Google form, and my data were collected from various social media platforms. And I got 428 valid data, and it was analyzed by SPSS. And before I analyze my data, I used vector analysis to narrow down into 4 representative vectors. So let's turn to the results of research question 1. As you can see from these slides, the analysis One-Way and Nova have showed the average mean score for the change of consumer behaviors was 3.5. That means most of the college students, they agree with the change of consumer behaviors during the pandemic. As for the impulsive buying behaviors, it was 2.8. That means most of the college students, they disagree with impulsive buying behaviors during the pandemic. And p-value have indicated that the students from upper class, they will more agree with these changes than the students from working class. So next, the average mean score for the change of financial status was 2.8. That means most of the college students, they disagree with the change of their financial status during the pandemic. As for the change of shopping mode, it was 3.4. That means most of the college students, they agree with the change of their shopping mode during the pandemic. And there was no significant differences among various social classes. And let's have a look at this graph. No matter which social class they came from, most of the college students, they were focused on daily necessities and clothing. And as for the factors what drives consumers to make online purchases was convenience, time saving, delivery speed, price, and discount. So let's turn to the results of research question 2. So it's about gender differences. According to the analysis of independent sample t-test, the average mean score for the change of consumer behaviors was 3.5. As for the change of shopping mode, it was 3.4. both genders, they agree with these changes. And female college students, they were more agree with these changes than male college students during the pandemic. And next, the average mean score for the change of financial status and impulsive buying behaviors were both 2.8. That means both genders, they disagree with these changes, and there was no significant differences among genders. So you can see from these slides, female college students and male college students, they have the same preference towards the first and second one. However, the third preference towards online shopping have shown the gender differences. Female college students, they prefer to buy cosmetics products, and male college students, they prefer to buy electronics. So these are 4 general changes of consumer behaviors during the pandemic. First is change of eating habits. Second, change of consumption channel. Third, change of spending priorities. And last one is change of purchasing locations. In conclusion, there were 3 major findings in my study. First, the majority of college students' financial status have not been impacted by the pandemic. Second, most of the college students' online shopping preference was focused on daily necessities and clothing. As female college students, they were preferred to buy more wearing accessories and cosmetics. So in order to answer these 3 major findings, I would like to use Maslow's hierarchy need theory to explain. As the economy has been greatly impacted by the pandemic, people feel insecure about the uncertainty of their financial status. So no matter which social class they come from, they have decreased their spending in general and focus on the basics and value. And as for the buying of clothing and cosmetics, people get confidence and feel better about themselves through buying these products, especially for cosmetics, because it's seen as affordable luxury goods. So in conclusion, though the pandemic has forced Taiwanese college students even more in online shopping, they do not perceive their financial status and the quality of their lives have been impacted by the pandemic, because they have the conscience of saving more money and prepare for the times of crisis. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you.